once again with the violence plaguing our streets. Tonight, police say a gang war is unfolding in the Bronx with teenagers as the victims. Just in the last 48 hours, a 13-year-old and 16-year-old were both shot and killed on Sunday. And then last night, another 16-year-old was shot but survived.
It's scary too. At that point, like, fuck the ops. You gotta be watching the people near you, like, cause when the pressure on, and not a lot of people can handle pressure.
I just want my whole hood to be on gangster, feel me? I'm gonna be the nigga that make the change for everybody.
Kevin Perez, who you may know as K-Flock, was born April 20th, 2003 in the Bronx, New York. Although the Bronx is the birthplace of hip-hop music, over 40% of the borough lives below the poverty line, making it a hub for crime and gang activity. Growing up a product of his environment, he hopped off the porch at a young age. He tried playing sports, but with their ties to school, which he had little to no interest in, he enjoyed the street culture more. At 10 years old, he started tuning into the drill scene that was taking over Chicago. Artists like Rondo No. 9 and Chief Keef heavily influenced how he was already viewing his life. Being this young, he wasn't in the position to rap himself yet, but he hit the streets with the mentality of someone twice his age and a point to prove. While in the neighborhood, he would meet other kids like Quayshawn Cannon or B Lovee, whose mom lived in K-Flock's hood where he spent a lot of time too. Quayshawn went by the nickname Buddy, which was eventually turned into Buddy Love, and then B Lovee as we know him now. B Lovee is 3 years older than K-Flock, but was too already indulging in the street mentality. He stated the streets were a funner environment, and he was already aggressive by nature. He'd rather be outside fighting than sitting in the house all day. Being young and not fully understanding the lifestyle that came with the streets, both would grow up to watch people close to them lose their lives. But by that time, they were already in too deep. They would grow to start claiming a set called Sevenside. Sevenside is a combination of a few cliques like Sex Money Murder and Backballer Brims, who like any set are at war with a few other gangs. The YGs and OGs are the main ops of Sevenside. Just like in Chicago, the gang war is taken seriously, meaning even family members can become enemies if they're on the other side. K-Flock and B Lovee would create a brother-like bond over the years. While still heavy in the streets, B Lovee decided he wanted to start recording tracks. He started writing and considering taking music seriously as a possible way out. Although he recorded a few songs, he wasn't satisfied with how they came out, so he held off on releasing them. B Lovee would soon find himself in trouble with the law and had to sit behind bars. Although the full story isn't public, he has stated that someone close to him turned their back on him, leading to his conviction and changing the way he viewed the streets as a whole. While this is happening, K-Flock is making more enemies than friends, running drills in ops neighborhoods and going live on Instagram, taunting them every chance he got. Videos show him running around in hoods he wasn't supposed to be in as if he was bulletproof. Funny enough, this reputation would actually put his name out there in the Bronx. A few hundred people started actively tuning in to his live streams. By 2018, the atmosphere of music in New York started to shift. For a while, auto-tune melodic rappers such as Lil TJ and A Boogie were setting the tone. That was until Brooklyn rappers started using UK drill type beats and turning it into a new subgenre that would quickly become the new sound of New York. By mid-2019, new drill rappers were popping up all around the city. Just as quickly as it blew up, it became oversaturated. While Brooklyn had multiple rappers popping off, the Bronx only had a few that were struggling to get recognition. B Lovee, who was back home again, linked up with K-Flock and their associate Dougie B, who had picked up rapping. Dougie B would convince K-Flock and B Lovee to start recording their first official tracks, but he quickly found himself behind bars for stealing a rapper named PNVJ's chain. With Dougie B gone, K-Flock and B Lovee knew it was time to record some music like they talked about. About 6 months would go by, but eventually B Lovee booked a studio session, and he got K to come along with him. On May 26, 2020, K-Flock dropped his first song titled FTO, a remix to 22G's Blicky freestyle. The song immediately amassed over 100,000 views, and 22G's even gave K-Flock props. This gave him a good cosign for his first song. A month later, B Lovee dropped his first song, No Hook, which also popped off in the Bronx. Both of them now had a small platform to grow off of, and they wanted to put the Bronx drill movement on the map. Keeping the momentum going, both dropped songs at least once a month, also collaborating on a lot of them. With all the attention they were now getting for their music, it also put a large target on their backs as well. Every song they released became more specific, and they made a point that they were bringing the Bronx street politics in the music with them. Don't let the catchy music fool you, they were sending deadly messages in their lyrics. Dougie B would be released around August of 2020, and when he saw the momentum B Lovee and K-Flock had going for all of them, he quickly rejoined the mix. But things really took off in March of 2021 when all three hopped on a track titled Brotherly Love. The first month it was out, it would get over 1 million views, and it really put all of them on the map. People started tuning in outside the Bronx now too, making the numbers of their old songs go up as well. They brought a new twist to the New York drill, building on what Brooklyn started but adding their own sauce. After this, their songs were easily touching the 1 to 3 million view range. But make no mistake, they were still in the middle of a war. Things between the Sevenside, the YGs, and the OGs was really heating up. And the crazy thing about it was a lot of people involved were from the ages of 12 to 18. Unlike other gang wars we've seen in the past, these kids were younger and wilder, willing to risk everything for their side. It came to light that K-Flock was even beefing with his own cousin and rapper D-Thang. The music was fueling the fire, and soon after, more lives were lost. In July, a 21-year-old rapper named Ty Swish was shot in the head while outside his apartment complex. Just 2 days later, a 13-year-old named Jarian was chased down and shot outside a popular cafe in Belmont in broad daylight. It's not confirmed, but it's rumored that this was get back for Ty Swish. On July 11th, another 16-year-old rapper named Raw G's was getting into an Uber headed to a studio session. 2 men on scooters rolled up on the Uber and shot him. He had mocked the death of Jarian on social media just hours before that. To paint the picture, in just 1 week, 3 lives were taken from this war. Amidst all this, B Lovee released If You Know, You Know, and K-Flock dropped Is You Ready, which contained a few lines about his cousin D-Thang. Both would get over 7 million views simultaneously, and even getting radio play on Hot 97. His cousin wasted no time releasing his own diss song, Talk Facts, mocking the deaths on their side. To B Lovee and K-Flock though, it didn't matter. They knew they were on the brink of blowing up. G Herbo would soon after hop on K-Flock's remix to Being Honest. If that wasn't enough, he soon got a feature on In the Mood with Lil TJ and Fabio Foreign. This would officially bring the Bronx drill scene to the mainstream. Both are rumored to be involved in signing record deals as we speak. Hopefully this will be enough to get them out of the area. We can only hope that they manage to stay out of trouble so they have the opportunity to reach their full potential and leave the streets of the Bronx behind.
Niggas be broken, sad. I don't wanna come and I just wanna laugh.